Good morning, traders. Welcome to this Forex video looking at the US dollar and its correction towards the support. First of all, though, be aware that this video is shown to a global audience but may not be suitable for everyone. Visit admiralmarketsglobal.com, select your country of residence, and contact an appropriate entity for more details. Also, please be aware that trading for exchange and global financial markets is considered high risk. Please seek the advice of an independent financial advisor for more information on that. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. By continuing watching this video, you agree with the disclaimer and you are aware of the risk involved when trading. The first currency pair on our list today is the euro dollar. Looking at the 4-hour chart right now, and we can see that price is in a channel to the upside. These yellow lines, orange lines indicating that upward trend that we're seeing, and it's starting to look slightly like a rising wedge pattern. That is a corrective pattern, which would indicate perhaps a reversal back down on the euro dollar. It is also approaching a 78.6 fib, as you can see, at the 107.50 level, which is a quarter level 2 and therefore resistance as well. You can see that the fib is placed on this swing high, swing low, and price is now reaching that very strong and deep fib as well. Together with those fibs, our pivot points R2 and R3. I think that those two levels are key. 88.6 fib is around 108.10. So from my perspective, a break above the 100 level, a break above this top at 108.70, that would invalidate what I would expect as a bearish trend and a bullish retracement. All right. So if it breaks above that, this scenario has changed and the analysis is different. Until that moment, I'm expecting a turnaround, a bearish turn at the 78 or 88.6 fib. In fact, at this moment, I'm looking for candlestick patterns to occur at this level, just a bit higher. Either here, it's already possible, depending on how this candle closes, or the next, or the one after that. If there are some strong bearish candles there, I think that could be a reaction. The initial target is the pivot point, or S1, and at the bottom of this trend channel, and that will be the next decision spot. Will price bounce there and use it as support to bounce to the next fib, up to the 80.6 fib? That's possible. That's why that's the first target. But if price breaks through that zone, then there's a chance for price to retest deeper fibs as it goes further down and starts to actually make a downtrend. So that's an important, basically confluence zone, basically decision zone as well, at 106.70ish, 107, and 106.50. So that's the euro dollar. Basically, these levels are my main focus of this week. And this week, of course, we have webinars as well. Let's take a look. The euro dollar, we'll find out more information, of course, as well with the weekly recap of Nenet on Mondays. Tuesday, Wednesday, we take a look at price action and Fibonacci and waves and patterns in general, where we take, of course, a view on the euro dollar, a new view again. Wednesday and Thursday are for education, POC zone, point of confluence, and trading systems based on indicators. That's coming up this week. All right, regarding the pound USD, of course, that made a strong upsurge here, and it too is moving up just like the euro dollar, but even stronger perhaps than the euro dollar. And we can see the price has broken above the previous top after bouncing off a 38.2 fib, and you can see that it's probably now making a zigzag. You can see the bounce right here, and the target of that is the R3 at the moment, minus 272 target and 125.30ish. 125 around level 2. It's getting close to that. A bit of a hook back here could see a continuation easily to 125 in my opinion. So at this moment, I don't think it's a good spot to look for longs. It has already shown a lot of upside, 5-6 candles in a row actually. So a bit of retracement I think is needed before that could be interesting. Looking at the hourly chart, for instance, right here you can see a bit of a correction, a flag perhaps, and something like this, for instance. And then the break above that flag, we could see that breakout to that target. Now, the minus 272 target is one target. It could be the minus 61.8 target as well. That depends on how price responds at 125. If there is another bull flag and a break, it could go up to 126.80. One of these two spots, though, could be a very strong resistance because look at this big top in here. So, and in that case, also the zigzag could be completed. So that could be also a spot where I'll be looking for turnarounds back down. Especially the second target, especially the 126.80, could be a very strong resistance spot. So I'm keeping an eye on patterns here, and a reversal here, basically. And I do want to add once again that there could be at the 272 target. It depends how price responds. If there's a correction here, there's a good chance of a breakout to the upside. But if there's a strong momentum to the downside, then in fact a reversal is more likely. So it all depends on how price responds to this target, whether downside or upside seems more logical. All right, let's move on to the dollar yen. We see prices retesting a 78.6 fib. From a 4-hour point of view, you can see that price is correcting to the downside and reaching support, in my opinion. Look at that, 38, 23.6 fibs. And this was a strong push up here. So I think that's the first indication. Looking on the hourly chart, you can see as well 5 waves up. I think that this is an ABC zigzag. Therefore, hence, I think that these fibs will hold without breaking this bottom. If, of course, the bottom breaks, 112.54, then the bullish analysis is invalidated. If price does bounce, what I'm expecting, I'll be looking for 1 hour or 4-hour candlestick patterns at these fibs as a confirmation that price is most likely bouncing, and I would expect price to retest the resistance, which could be the first target. But above all, it should break above it if my analysis is correct and head towards these targets, minus 272, minus 61.8, and perhaps even further. Next on the list is the AUD USD. This momentum has lasted for a long time, but if the dollar starts to strengthen, for instance with the dollar yen, if the dollar starts to move up, if the euro dollar, pound dollar eventually hit resistance and start to move lower, I think the Aussie dollar will follow too. This has, of course, moved up quite a bit here, 500 pips or so, 450 rather, but you can see a big upside momentum. I think that the dollar, once it strengthens against the other, could of course push the AUD USD down again as well, but it will probably move lower, less impulse basically than the others. The momentum has been very, very strong, much stronger than the others, other currency pairs. So I think that there could be a correction, but a choppy one, and price could head back towards, for instance, this level right in here, and make a inverted head and shoulders like that. So that's something to be aware of. Therefore, shorting the AUD USD might not be as interesting as shorting the euro dollar or even the pound USD. But at this moment, I think the dollar yen upside and the euro dollar downside probably seem to be the most interesting. All right, folks, don't forget to take a look at animalmarkets.com for analytics, articles, and webinars, of course. You can use these channels as well to reach out to us, and wish you above all great trading. Cheers.